Hello everyone, how's everyone doing? All right, so I am Sam Alfara. I am a community spokesperson for the Tron DAO. Before I begin, I wanted to give a big shout out to the Team Z team for giving us the opportunity to not just speak, but also sponsor and really be a part of the innovation that's happening here in Japan. I think it's great, and it's always exciting to come here, especially in Tokyo. So with that being said, we'll get into it. I believe this works, correct? Okay, cool. So yeah, as I mentioned, I work for Tron. We're one of the largest layer one public blockchains to date. We're really big when it comes to the stablecoin space and when focusing in on payments. So the topic of discussion today is not just going to be about Tron, but it is going to kind of go over where we're positioned in the broader space of payments and stablecoins. And I hope everyone here can leave being a little energized, excited, and willing to build more DeFi applications or payment-focused applications as well, and hopefully on Tron. So without further ado, we can get straight into it. So to start things off, let's talk a little bit about the stablecoin space in general. Right now, you can see stablecoins are currently revolutionizing the entire global payments space. Tron is one of the leading blockchains for that. We average about 2.4 to 3 million daily active users, and we have a transformative and fast, scalable, and low-cost blockchain. Moving on to the next part, the entire stablecoin market right now exceeds about $225 billion. So $225 billion, and that's as of February 2025. If you were to ask somebody what's the greatest product market fit that crypto has to offer, depending on who you ask, they might say events, or they'll say, which I think is correct, stablecoins. Stablecoins have really provided that product market fit that a lot of developers and blockchain are envious over. And I think Tether has done a phenomenal job of working with us on promoting this, and Tron as well, kind of becoming that default network for payments and stablecoin transactions. So obviously, this number, we're hoping to continue to see it rise. We're hoping to see more people on chain, and we believe tokenized assets in general will continue to follow. And stablecoins as a whole are, a really good start of that. So now let's talk about Tron's dominance in that space, a little bit more of the numbers. So this is as of February, early March. $61 billion worth of those stablecoins are on Tron. That's about 25% of that market share. That number is closer to 70 billion right now. And these are people across the entire global south. So here in Japan or across Southeast Asia, think Africa, think Latin America. These are really being marketed to people who utilize stablecoins, utilize on-chain technology and financial decentralized applications to be able to conduct economic activity that they usually would not be able to do so because of either hyperinflation, low economic value, unequal transparency, and just financial infrastructure that isn't really built. So I really think the largest value add that blockchain technology adds is the fact that it can act as financial infrastructure to anybody around the world. And I think that is super powerful, especially when you get into like tokenized private equities, private debt, corporate bonds, treasuries, etc. But of course, in this case, we'll just focus on stablecoins and payments and all that fun stuff. Tron currently averages around 7 to 8 million plus daily transactions a day that we process, and about 2.5 to 3 million active daily users. We just surpassed 300 million 300 million users or wallet accounts, I believe last week. So we're very happy to have had that happen and hoping to get to 500 million, hopefully not too far from now. But yeah, these are some of the numbers, and we're very proud to showcase them as much as we can. Now, Tron's innovation in stablecoin transactions, we just launched a gas abstraction initiative. I think the biggest thing that we want to do here in crypto when we're building apps is make it seamless, improve the user experience. If you can't abstract the complexities of blockchain technology, most people aren't going to use your apps. They really just want to use something that's easy, it's fun, and it solves a specific problem. In blockchain, it's solving a lot of those problems within a lack of financial infrastructure. But sometimes a lot of the technologies, they're not very seamless. The user experience is very difficult to work with. I'm sure everybody here can raise their hand and showcase how many applications they've dealt with where they just had no idea what was going on. And the average consumer doesn't really care what's going on in the back end. They don't care if it's an AWS cloud. They don't care if it's Google Firebase. They just want to care that it works. That's the only thing that really matters to them. And this gas abstraction initiative allows it to be able for anybody to conduct activity just using the stablecoin. You don't need the gas token, TRX in this case, to be able to settle transactions. So this is a very big value add that we're happy to have added. The bottom part showcases a little bit about our resource model. So on the Tron network, if you utilize TRX and you stake it, you get energy, bandwidth, and voting rights. And you can actually delegate this energy to your smart contract and completely reduce gas fees to zero, depending on how much energy you have. So this is another value add that we believe is going to improve the user experience across the entire blockchain and Web3 space, and hoping to have more talented developers like people here in Japan to continue to build amazing things. Now, moving on, I really want to talk about the impact on global payments as well. So right now, the three things that we could look at in terms of where Tron positions itself in terms of stablecoins and payments. One, cross-border remittances. So reducing cost and processing time, and I'm going to get into a case study in a bit. E-commerce integration, especially in the US and the States, margins are very important, as I'm sure everywhere in the world. So companies love to save as much as they can on their bottom line. And by utilizing stablecoins and blockchain payments, you can save upwards of 4, 6, sometimes even 12% on your margins by utilizing the proper blockchain tech. And then, of course, we're enabling fast, secure, and global transactions. So now you can widen it out to a broader user base. Okay. And why should businesses utilize these stablecoins? As mentioned earlier, there's lower transaction costs. So instead of having to charge the merchant 2, sometimes 4% for every transaction that occurs, that gets eliminated. There's instant settlement times, which offers better cash flow. Sometimes settlement times range from 1, and that's usually very fast, especially in the US, but sometimes 5 days, and there sometimes could be bank delays. So imagine having to send somebody money and you're trying to conduct business across the globe or even within your country, and it takes 3, 4, 5 days, sometimes a whole week for that capital to actually settle. By eliminating that completely and having that be officiated in the back end, it saves a lot of time, and it saves, of course, a lot of money. And this, I believe, will become a status quo across the entire financial world. Instead of thinking about blockchain this and blockchain that, we're just going to think about finance apps or fintech. And we're not going to worry about what's on the back end. Of course, the developers will be the ones conducting that activity. But again, the user, they just want to have a seamless experience. And then, of course, borderless transactions and security and transparency to reduce fraud and have that real-time visibility and optionality. So how businesses can start to accept those stablecoin payments, as I mentioned earlier, they can choose a payment processor, display stablecoin payment options, process that said transaction, convert to fiat or hold those said stablecoins, and then ensure compliance and accounting. Now, I think in this fourth part, this is where RWAs can really have a major, major factor. If institutions are starting to conduct activity in stablecoins and we start to have more tokenized real-world assets, whether it's on the Tron blockchain or wherever it may be, people can now start to seamlessly integrate or get into those applications without having to wait those 3 to 5, sometimes 7 business days. And of course, those lowered fees as well. So I think by allowing businesses to be able to accept in stablecoins, that's going to do numbers. It's going to be very, very big for the entire broader RWA space. Now here's a case study I hope you guys get a little inspired about. So we did pretty thorough research and found that in Africa, intra-Africa trade is upwards of $120 billion. Of that amount, $10 billion is paid just in fees, whether it be bank transfers, wire-to-wire transfers, etc. That's 11%. Now, of course, when you're conducting activity via SWIFT, so internationally, but if you're doing it intra-Africa, they kind of have their own network there. 11%, so 11 cents on the dollar is going towards just settling those transactions. And it's not happening instantly. It's happening still 3, 4, 5, sometimes 7 business days. So not only is it slow, but it's also expensive. And $10 billion annually can go a very, very far way in any area. And then when you think about Africa, that's magnitudes of power that $10 billion could be used to stimulate economies, continue to help it grow, invest in companies in those areas. So blockchain technology acts as that solution to be able to reduce those fees. And then of course, the stablecoins on Tron, again, it's like pennies to the dollar compared to paying $10 billion annually off of $120 billion that's traded intra-Africa. And then borderless finance enables that efficient trade and lowers settlement times as well. So this is a really big thing. And it's not just happening in Africa, it's happening in Latin America, it's happening across Southeast Asia, it's happening here in Japan. There's a large amount and large population of people who don't have access to financial infrastructure. I think it's upwards of 600 million people just in Southeast Asia. And to conclude, stablecoins are great. Payments is the future, especially when conducting blockchain technology. Tron has near zero fees, and businesses in regions like Africa and across Asia and Latin America can stand to save billions of dollars. And I hope everyone here who's a developer or entrepreneurial, you start to think of solutions and ways in which you can utilize blockchain tech to provide solutions to those problems. So thank you all so much for your time, and I hope to maybe speak to you guys in the future. But regardless, thank you all.